in fact, we know that pollution is possibly the worst in Delhi in compared to any other, forget any other state in India, any other country in the world. There's nothing as bad as Delhi's pollution. Toxic it is. Delhi is choking again. The air has started to dip to severe levels as stubble fires rise across Punjab and Haryana and wind speeds have dropped. So this is a season of stubble burning. Those are the visuals coming in, latest visuals of stubble burning that's begun in Punjab and Haryana, and wind speed has dropped. That's led to rising levels of pollution in Delhi. This toxic mix has pushed Delhi's AQI now past 470 in several areas, one of the worst spikes this season. The Safar app says in fact, Safar, the body that tracks the farm fires, says that 2,800 farm fires were reported in just the last 28 to 44. In fact, the Safar app says over 2,800 farm fires were reported in just the last 48 hours. Experts estimate that over 35% of Delhi's PM 2.5 right now is coming directly from stubble burning. That's happening in Punjab and Haryana region. That's riding in the northwesterly winds. Doctors are warning that this air isn't only hurting our lungs, it's also harming our metabolic health. In the latest study, we hear long-term exposure to PM 2.5 can raise the risk of type 2 diabetes by 20 to 30%, according to ICMR and studies published in The Lancet. Pollution triggers inflammation, that weakens insulin response. It weakens insulin response and then worsens blood sugar even in healthy adults. And that's what doctors say has led to rising cases of diabetes that's linked to pollution. And this is a study by The Lancet. Imagine in Delhi what should be the situation. Now, here's a twist though. Punjab's stubble burning, as much as we are complaining about the pollution and stubble burning, we hear that this year Punjab's stubble burning has been lower than last. Heavy rains, delayed harvest and satellite images show that 20% drop in stubble burning. That's from last year to this year. The three big districts, that includes Amritsar, Tarn Taran and Ferozpur, all have seen fewer farm fires this October. But November, which is a season of stubble burning, is seeing lesser than last year's stubble burning. But yet, since it's the peak of the season, it seems like the pollution levels are rising in Delhi. Now, how far the pollution remains, stubble burning has reduced in comparison to last year. But will this continue? Will the picture change? We are waiting to see what happens. The Supreme Court has now pulled up the Punjab and Haryana government, asking them to submit a detailed action taken report within a week's time. The matter comes up again on November 17th. This brings back the question, if stubble burning is relatively down, what really explains the high levels of pollution that Delhi is being reported? In fact, Delhi has reported worse pollution in the last 5 years. So, is stubble burning not the only reason? Is Delhi's toxic air problem much bigger than Punjab's fields? Who's really accountable? Is the state government accountable? Is the centre, local bodies? If all are accountable, why don't we see a difference? For people living in Delhi NCR region, this is of course a health emergency. Doctors say you've got to monitor your sugar, wear an N95 mask outdoors, use air purifier, avoid early morning walks and keep children and elderly people indoors as much as possible. And most importantly, the link between pollution and diseases like diabetes now is real and far more serious than we've acknowledged before. So keep a double check if you are someone who's susceptible to these diseases. We have Dr. Ghufran Beg joining us, Chair Professor, NIAS and Founder and Project Director, Safar and Weather Forecasting and Research. We have Dr. Rajesh Chawla, Senior Consultant, Respiratory and Critical Care, Apollo Hospital. Thank you both of you for joining us. Dr. Ghufran, why don't you give us a little sense on the Lancet study that links air pollution to diabetes and also stubble burning at the same time. The Safar has reported 2,400 episodes of stubble burning in the last 48 hours and it's still lesser than last year, we hear. Is that true?
No, in fact, I will tell you that it is an illusion that we are comparing last year's with this.
Okay.
We should understand that we have just 45 days window in general to burn all those, to burn or to get rid of this stubble.
Yeah.
Because for next fasal we will have to do it from the second week of December or so. Now what has happened, because of the heavy flood in Punjab, there was a field which was even filled with the water at the up to the end last week of October. So it has been shifted by a week. So in my all the possibilities, now farmers which used to have a 45 days window, now they are reduced to even less than 40 days of window. And the fire is shifted by a week. And that is the reason that you can't compare with November so far. You compare full November, then you will see that you will surpass those things here, because and earlier time it used to finish by, let us say, by 20th of November it used to start declining, but it will not decline now as far as I know, because bumper crop is there, and then they will have to close unless there is a solution which doesn't look like on the card. So burning of the stubble is not less. It is going to be same or more than that. As far as weather is concerned, obviously the temperature is lower as compared to average temperature, as well as the wind speed is low. But then these are the things which have been shown. About 1,700 was there day before yesterday. Yesterday was 260, and today also again 800.
No, but then when does Delhi see clean air? Is there any hope in the next 45 days?
Well, it will see, but in my all possibilities, we may not go below very poor. So this particular thing severe started from 2 days before, and likely to go tomorrow. There is a likelihood of little faster wind. So agencies have predicted little better, very poor instead of severe. But to my possibilities, so much things has already accumulated in Delhi. It is unlikely to go to.
Now, I just want a clear answer from you, sir. Why can't farmers find a way? What is the problem there? Why is this not a issue that's being solved by successive governments?
Abila, this is very clear that this is a life and death question for the farmers of Punjab.
Yeah.
If they do not open, they not clean the field, they cannot sow the wheat from the next. So they will have to do that. Now the point is that I also talk to many farmers. When they say that one machis ka tili can do my job free of cost, why should even spend 500 or 1,000 rupees? And that is true. And then they do not have any time to think that what is other alternative, unless it has been given in their doorstep. And that is where the problem is. Just telling that don't burn, it is a question of life and death. So unless there is a viable solution given to them, some alternative, but all the alternatives so far, it seems it is failed. Even the syrup which has been given by the ICAR, I don't think that it is is working as is supposed to be. So the problem is finding a solution and implementation properly.
Correct. And finally, Dr. Rajesh Chawla, a quick word in a capsule from you on pollution linked with diabetes.
Because the pollutants, they increase the inflammation and the oxidative stress. So what it does is it just deranges your metabolic functions. There is a rise in insulin resistance, and not only type 2 diabetes, there are certain people who say probably it also increases the type 1 diabetes. The blood sugar level they have seen not only in the diabetic, even in a healthy patients, there could be a high blood sugar level. So that's the mechanism which has been proposed for linking the diabetes with the air pollution.
Do any, suggestion to them? Breathing this air is no choice.
No, I think we should now, it is every year we talk about it and then we are sort of don't talk about. It is now, I think unless we talk about the whole year, this is just a 2 months when we talk too much and then we just stop.
No, but this is the worst phase.
This is going on and every year.
This is the worst phase. This is the worst phase. So in this 2 months, what's the best we can do to avoid ailments like that?
I think the best is don't go out if you don't require to go. If you have to go out, you should definitely wear a N95 mask.
Right.
because if you see your plants in one day, you clean them and next day they are full with dust. So you're inhaling this. So at least wear mask. And if person is sick and you're remaining indoors, probably if you can afford, you should have a purifier in your room also. That's also probably going to help you. Then the other thing is that take more of fruits and green leafy vegetables. And if you have some disease, talk to the doctor and keep your everything ready so that you don't suffer. Because all the respiratory patients, what I'm seeing is they're taking much longer to get cured than as compared to the normal times.
Yeah.
So if a person has a cough, he takes much longer to get cured.
Yeah.
And similarly for other respiratory illnesses. And there are certain effects which we still don't know. It's years to come when we have the long-term effects we'll see on the body.
And we're the worst in the world in terms of pollution. And I really appreciate both of you for joining us. That's all I have time for, Dr. Rajesh and Dr. Gurfan, for bringing your expertise on the show.